finished then thy new creation, pure and spotless let us be. Let us see thy great salvation, perfectly restored in thee. Change from glory into glory, till in heaven we take our place, till we cast our crowns before thee, lost in wonder, love, and praise.
Some of you have heard me share this one before, but I'm not sorry for sharing it again. When it comes to Christmas, the telly box rolls out all the classic Christmas episodes of our favourite TV shows. One of mine is The Big Bang Theory, and in particular the Christmas episode from season 2, titled The Bath Item Gift Hypothesis. If you're not familiar with The Big Bang Theory, the sitcom revolves around 4 male friends who are all geniuses, 2 of whom share a flat. They're all socially awkward in their own way, but one character in particular, Sheldon, has no clue when it comes to social dynamics. From episode 1 of the show, their nice little geek world filled with science and comics and video games is thrown into turmoil when a pretty new girl, Penny, moves into the flat next door. From that point on, she begins to become part of their social circle. And because she's fully aware of how society functions and how to build relationships, she has a lot to teach them. Anyway, flash forward to season 2, episode 11, and there are a few things going on. But the one I want to highlight today is the fact that Penny tells Sheldon that she's bought him a gift for Christmas. And he doesn't quite know how to process that. There's part of him that's aware of the social construct of gift giving in a sort of textbook kind of way, but he's in a real quandary until he happens upon a brilliant plan to make sure he reciprocates with just the right gift.
I don't see anything in here a woman would want.
You're kidding. You've got lotions and bath oils and soaps. That's the estrogen hat trick.
What it is a cacophonous assault of eucalyptus, bayberry, cinnamon, and vanilla. It's as if my head were trapped in the pajamas of a sultan.
Sheldon, if you don't like the stuff, let's just go next door and build her a bear.
Yeah. I told you before, bears are terrifying.
Come on, bath stuff. It's perfect. You got a scented candle, a cleansing buff, spearmint and green tea scented bath oil promotes relaxation.
Well, that presupposes Penny is tense.
She knows you. She's tense. We all are. Buy a basket.
Excuse me, we're ready.
No, we're not. Let's say for a moment that I accept the bath item gift hypothesis. I now lay the following conundrum at your feet. Which size?
This one, let's go.
You put no thought into that.
I'm sorry. This one, let's go.
I have insufficient data to proceed. Excuse me, miss?
Yes.
If I were to give you this gift basket, based on that action alone and no other data, infer and describe the hypothetical relationship that exists between us.
Excuse me?
Here. Now, are we friends? Colleagues? Lovers? You my grandmother?
I don't understand what you're talking about, and you're making me a little uncomfortable.
See? Sounds just like you and Penny. We'll take it.
Now, aside from all those people who've tried to buy something from Lush, other places are also available, so I'm told, and know exactly that feeling that Sheldon describes. It's an important question that Sheldon asks. I mean, what's the relationship like? What am I trying to say about our relationship in the gift that I'm giving to you? Are we friends or something more? How close are we? And just how much are you giving me? I don't want to underspend on you and therefore make it look like I don't value you. or your gift, but equally I don't want to give you a more expensive gift that then makes kind of things awkward and uncomfortable between us. And so Sheldon comes up with a solution in his particularly scientific and matter-of-fact manner.
Great news, Leonard. I've solved my penny gift dilemma.
Yippee.
You see, the danger was that I might under or over reciprocate, but I have devised a foolproof plan. I will open her gift to me first, and then excuse myself, feigning digestive distress. Then, I'll look up the price of her gift online, choose the basket closest to that value, give it to her, and then I'll return the others for a full refund.
Brilliant.
It is, isn't it? Is it okay if I hide them in your room? The smell makes me nauseated.
Do whatever you want.
Thank you. That's very gracious. Gentlemen?
Merry Christmas!
Merry Christmas.
How's your leg?
Very good. Thanks for asking. Come on in.
Oh, good, Penny. You're here to exchange gifts. You'll be pleased to know I'm prepared for whatever you have to offer.
Okay, here.
I should note, I'm having some digestive distress. So if I excuse myself abruptly, don't be alarmed. Oh, a napkin.
Turn it over.
To Sheldon, live long and prosper. Leonard Nimoy.
Yeah, he came into the restaurant. Sorry, the napkin's dirty. He wiped his mouth with it.
I possess the DNA of Leonard Nimoy?
Yeah, I guess, but look, he signed it.
Do you realize what this means? All I need is a healthy ovum and I can grow my own Leonard Nimoy.
Okay, all I'm giving you is the napkin, Sheldon.
Be right back. I know. It's not enough, is it? Here.
Leonard, look, Sheldon's hugging me.
Did you notice the change in Sheldon's responses as the realization of the value of the gift really dawned on him? It started out as just a napkin, something invaluable and stolen. And we can almost see the cogs working as he thinks, what's the least that I can give in return? How can I acknowledge it without it costing me too much? Which is the smallest basket that I bought? Or maybe even, do I have a hotel soap bar somewhere that I stole that I can gift back and therefore return all of the baskets and it costs me nothing? And then he turns it over and the value increased with the message. You can see him physically taken aback and is now trying to calculate what's it worth. How much should he give back? After all, this is a napkin with a message from his all-time hero signed and approved. And then Penny discloses something extra. He wiped his mouth on it. All of a sudden, it isn't just a napkin. It isn't just a message about how to live with a blessing from his hero. It's become something that includes the very DNA of his hero. Enough to be able to replicate and grow his own clone, if only he had an egg. And that, in Sheldon's mind, is invaluable, priceless. And suddenly everything he's bought to reciprocate the gift isn't enough. And the only thing he has left is to give himself by way of a hug. So other than a slightly outdated cultural reference, what point am I trying to make? Well, the 6th of January is Epiphany. Epiphany is a time when we celebrate the visit of the wise men to the child Jesus. It's a story we're familiar with, but we often lump it in with Christmas Day story to make sure we have enough parts for all the children in Sunday school. Here's how Matthew tells it. When Jesus was born in Bethlehem of Judea, at the time when Herod was king, some wise and learned men came to Jerusalem from the east. "Where is the one," they asked, "who has been born to be king of the Jews? We have seen his star rising in the east, and we have come to worship him." When King Herod heard this, he was very disturbed, and the whole of Jerusalem was as well. He called together all of the chief priests and scribes of the people, and inquired from them where the Messiah was to be born. "In Bethlehem of Judea," they replied. "That's what it says in the prophet. You, Bethlehem, in Judah's land, are not the least of Judah's princes. From out of you will come the ruler, who will shepherd Israel, my people." Then Herod called the wise men to him in secret. He found out from them precisely when the star had appeared. Then he sent them to Bethlehem. "Off you go," he said, "and make a thorough search for the child. When you find him, report back to me, so that I can come and worship him too." When they heard what the king said, they set off. There was a star, the one they'd seen rising in the east, going ahead of them. It went and stood still over the place where the child was. When they saw the star, they were beside themselves with joy and excitement. They went into the house and saw the child, with Mary his mother, and they fell down and worshipped him. They opened their treasure chests and gave him presents of gold, frankincense, and myrrh. The way I read it, the wise men saw something special. When they looked at the star, they anticipated something special and took valuable gifts accordingly. Though the gifts weren't the part that was important. The important bit was the giving of themselves in worship, in appreciation of what they believed to be the value of the gift before them. Which brings me to my parallel with Sheldon. What do we see when we come to the child Jesus? When we enter into the Christian Christmas story, what's our response? What's it worth? Is it just a baby, and therefore we can give it that polite nod and smile that we give when we see a baby? Give that which costs us very little and hold it at arm's length and give it back when it starts making smells and noises and gets a bit unhappy? Or is this baby something more? Maybe we can look at the baby that grows and hear the messages, the good words for how to live well. And maybe we can see some merit in the message. And if that's the case, then we can justify paying a little bit more attention and giving a little bit more in response for a baby that then has changed the world with those messages. Or at least in those places where the messages of love for God and neighbour have been heard and understood and put into practice well. Or maybe, just maybe, there's something more to that baby. If this baby really does carry not just the messages of God, but the DNA of God. If there really is enough in this child for us to see God living among us, and indeed to bring God into our lives in person today, then maybe we need to seriously think about what we have to offer. What is this gift worth? The closing verse of the questionable carol in the bleak midwinter almost redeems the whole song in this observation. What can I give him? Poor as I am, if I were a shepherd, I would give a lamb. If I were a wise man, I would do my part. But what I can, I give him. Give him my heart. I say almost, because for the shepherds it wasn't just about the lamb. It was the journey, the kneeling, and the shouting about what they'd seen afterwards. And for the wise men it wasn't just the gold, the frankincense and myrrh that were important, but the worship. That was the part that they played. That was the thing that cost them the most. As we journey with the wise men, as we join them in their discovery of the Word become flesh, what offering are we going to bring?
Love incarnate, love divine, star and angels gave the sign. Bow to babe on bended knee, the Savior of humanity. Unto us a child is born, he shall reign forevermore. Noel, Noel, come and see what God has done. Noel, Noel, the story of amazing love, the light of the world, given for us. Noel, Son of God and Son of Man, there before the world began, born to suffer, born to save.